show.
It was November and the orangest of all seasons. Fall was upon us, unless, of course, you live in Los Angeles, where August seems like April, June seems like January, and December seems like, well, you get the drift. Danny and I wanted to check the pulse a bit, kick the tires of this old podcast in a real live forum, so we packed a few microphones and hit the road. Here it goes, The Adventures of Danny and Mike, the podcast.
Where's Michael?
We're 2 minutes in and we've lost Mike Morona.
Hell of a crowd.
Sounds about right. The Adventures of Danny.
Singular.
All by himself.
All right, I'm going to go look.
He wants to make an entrance, guys. That's how he rolls. Michael. Michael. Michael.
Screw that dude.
Screw that dude. So anyway,
We always referred to
welcome
it as
to episode 3 of our
the Pete Show.
wonderful podcast. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for coming up here. We appreciate it. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing well. Look, I'm like a
You're an
rapper.
MC, yeah.
I'm gonna.
It's your dream,
I'm
right?
gonna do
Isn't
a
that
little
your dream?
panel. Yeah, a little panel afterwards where I just teach the intricacies of hip hop. Sort of like a panel.
I like that.
Mike will not be there. Oh,
Here he
there
is.
he is. Welcome. Hey, he did it! He did it! Oh, so far so good.
I came in late, but I got my tube. I got my yellow tube. My backpack.
It's on. It's on.
Thank you for having us. Toby Huss, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. We don't normally do this. The first couple episodes we've done us three separately, and then we have our guests. But since we have 3 guests, plural.
This will be our first and last episode.
Yeah, 3 and done. 3 and done. That's what we're going for.
Going out with a
Toby
bang.
will not be coming back, so you better get your fill right now, guys.
Yeah. So, Chris Viscardi over here.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you all.
Will McRobb. And the aforementioned Toby Huss.
This won't be the first podcast that I haven't been invited back to.
Okay.
Well, listen. Every month we do an adventure, and guess what? This month we're at the 2/3. Already have.
What is it? You're a joke
We're at
already?
the 2013 Stanley's Comikaze. So this month we decided to do what you call a comic bingo card. And
Do you guys know about the comic bingo cards?
No.
Nope.
Mike knows.
guys
He
know?
can
We
shine
just
a
found out
light.
about it.
Jeez.
you
It's
lost
really fun.
Tell us more.
Wait, is there a gimmick at Comic?
Yeah, pass these
Kaze?
down.
Pass them down. Pass them around.
Oh,
Here we go.
Jesus.
Don't look at our faces on top. I know.
Can we help you guys achieve these bingo cards?
Well, we did them over this weekend so far.
Let's just take a random one at random.
We didn't do that one.
Photo with Elvira. Did it.
Anybody do that here?
That's
Yep.
today, actually. She's here
Oh, you
today. I
did.
think.
All right.
Yeah, that'll be on
We
the
did
list.
not take a photo with the real Elvira, so...
We didn't get it.
I don't know
We didn't
why you
get
had
that
to
one.
ruin it.
Is it true she killed Vampira?
I
Or
think
she
so.
sent Vampira to an early grave
Yeah,
by
she ate
stealing
her
all her
skin.
shit? Is that it? Like completely ripping her off?
She actually wears her skin as wings now.
Oh,
That's how she flies.
it's dirty out here.
But looks like you got bingo already, right?
Yeah, we
We did. We
accomplished that.
actually
got it.
we got diagonal bingo, guys. We did.
Hey, all done.
We had to use the
That's
free
it.
space, but we did it, you know?
Oh, you won. Good
Yeah,
for
we
you.
won. Yeah, you don't realize that Comikaze gives us a prize afterwards.
Did anybody see the cosplay winning costume yesterday? $5,000? What was it there, Commander Riker?
It was Little Pete. No, it wasn't.
What is...
Skulkin? Do you think that
Kid.
the $5,000 prize made a dent in amount that it cost to make that costume, or this is a self-defeating strategy? I'm gonna win Stan Lee Comikaze cosplay contest. Now I live.
What does
in a bucket.
cosplay mean?
Cosplay.
I'm serious.
It involves tubes.
Cosplay?
It involves tubes.
Oh, costume play? Is it short for
Yeah,
that?
exactly. That's why everybody's all dressed up.
Well, there you go.
It would have been awkward if there was an Artie running around.
Yeah, that's there. Oh, it's that dude with the tube. The tube.
Get the tube. See the cosplayers grow by the minute.
You know, every now and again I see somebody will post or somebody will send me a photo of like some little skinny white boy that dressed up as Artie for Halloween, and he's always so sad. He's going like, and he's drunk with a beer, with his shirt. Well, one guy had a red shirt and he put blue tape on it to make the lines. Oh, poor little puppy.
He thought the spandex was a good idea at the time.
Halloween. What?
He said he thought the spandex was a good idea at the time, but after the fact.
What are you more into, guys? Cold weather Halloweens or warm weather Halloweens? Cold weather Halloweens? Anybody? Cold weather Halloweens?
Oh, wow.
Okay, warm weather Halloweens. Anybody?
Yeah.
Those are local. Those are locals.
I think it's an overwhelming response.
Yeah, let me ask the ladies in the house a serious question. Do you prefer hot jazz or cool jazz? Yeah, just for the ladies now.
I've actually used that line at a party, and I'll go up to a girl, I think she's interesting, I'll go, hey, do you like hot jazz or cool jazz? And if she doesn't say, what are you, a dick? I have to walk away.
It's not the woman for
If she
you.
actually tries to answer it, I like hot. I had one girl went, I like hot jazz. And I went, okay, good. That's just a little, I opened a window into me being a prick. How about that? Now you got to take a little look.
Strong start.
Stanley's
Nice start.
Comikaze 2013.
That
That was the podcast.
And thank you so much. What else, Jeremy?
Well, we
Silly String of Spider-Man. We never did that.
yeah, we didn't do that.
Well,
we
nobody
didn't have
brought
to,
silly.
'cause
We
won
didn't
the
bring
game.
silly string, so we couldn't silly string Spider-Man. That one was stupid. We forgot.
I remember stopping at Staples.
Spider-Man this year?
We're gonna silly string Spider-Man. We thought about it, but nobody brought the silly
But
string.
with the bingo that you got, so tell me something about some of these. A rap battle with Weird Al?
Yeah, that was kind of the
that
highlight.
was
Maybe you can put it
well
on the projector. Your picture of us rap battling.
the
Yeah, I don't think we have that technology.
Weird Al. Yeah, we don't have that technology to do that.
Do we have an Apple TV?
Weird Al was signing, so we paid money to have a rap battle
Nice.
with Weird Al.
Yeah, nice.
So,
In fairness, though,
and the rap battle was mostly a photo op picture of
let's
us
go- let's go like
looking
this.
like we were going to rap battle, but
Memorize these poses because that's the still that's going to be on the website next week.
and we may or may not have had to pay for it.
no, I'd already told everybody
Because it's
that we
Weird
had to
Al,
pay for
man.
it. You're
Weird
not
Al was
listening.
amazing. Yeah,
You weren't listening.
He's a legend.
$15.
It's worth it.
Totally
That picture was worth it.
$5 a pop.
What about
It'll be on our
Get
website.
Less Sued by Wonder Woman?
That happened too.
That was pretty self-explanatory. We said,
Yeah,
we said, oh, Wonder Woman, Wonder
we
Woman.
found the right Wonder
Yeah,
Woman. We found a couple of them that didn't have the lasso. How can you be Wonder Woman without the lasso? That doesn't make any sense.
Is that the truth? Is that the lasso of truth or something?
Yes,
Is that what-
yeah.
exactly. And I started telling her everything bad I did.
Why don't you tell us?
It took
It was
days.
a long
It was a
we
lot. Yeah,
just
she was
got
there
done
for
with
2
it.
hours
We
and
just
25
finished.
minutes, and I only got to third grade.
Next year we'll explore the rest.
The first two Wonder Womans we saw only had tassels, not lassos. They were more the burlesque dancer type of Wonder Woman, so we didn't utilize those.
They wouldn't have
Yeah,
won
the-
the $5,000. That's for sure.
Point is, we didn't go for the first available. I think that's important. when
We
you're
went for
doing
the
one of
first
these.
available Elvira. The first Elvira
oh,
we saw.
yeah,
Like,
that's
shit,
true.
you want to take about? Okay, we got to get now. Mark this off. Okay, thank you.
Jeez, what was that?
It wasn't the real Elvira.
You're right.
It wasn't
is
the
that
real
how you shake
Elvira.
hands?
But it didn't say on the bingo card that it had to be real Elvira.
No, it just said photo with Elvira, so we did it.
Can we go back to Wonder Woman for 1 second?
Sure.
I want to talk more about your parents.
No, I just had a question. She flies an invisible plane, right?
The jet. She flies an invisible
But
jet.
she's just so what you see is just her sitting. What do you see? What do
Yeah.
you see when she's flying around?
What
You
do you
just
mean?
see her in the
She's
sitting
reclining.
position, flying all over the place.
She's reclining.
Seems about the
3,000
least
miles
cool
an
thing I've
hour.
ever heard of. incredibly uncool.
Okay. Say you're kids and you're playing car and you're sitting on chairs and pretending to drive, and somebody pulls the chair out from behind you. That's what she looks like. She looks like that.
She just never
clouds.
falls.
I'm sticking my legs out under the table, guys.
You can't.
He's
see
lying.
that.
He's not doing it. Andy has no pants on.
He can't see.
He doesn't have pants. He does not
so
have
drunk,
pants
he's
on.
blind.
Morona has lost his pants.
I started this adventure with the thesis that
With the what?
Thesis. It's spelled THS.
I thought
That
he's-
Comikaze fans and comic book nerds in general were a perfect overlap with Pete and Pete fans, and I figured this room not being filled blows my theory out of the water. Thanks, guys.
That's it for Mike, guys. Give him a big hand of applause.
Don't forget your tube.
Oh, you dropped your tube.
The sound of a tube hitting the
Don't
ground.
let the door hit your tube on the way out.
The saddest cosplayer always has a droopy tube.
Oh, that is.
Does
Glad he
anybody
didn't say drippy tube.
Does anybody agree, disagree, think that's a horrible theory? Pete and Pete fans and cosplayers and comic book people. Overlapping.
It's fandom.
That's an
It's
overlap
cool.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, these people right here. This is the overlap.
I had her teleported in earlier to make sure. Yeah. Yes. That was when
I
I
know,
ripped
we
my
know.
clothes off. This is a podcast.
Jeez. You have Dick Tracy's here.
Yes.
Tracy.
Tracy, you'll get your 20 after.
It's Inspector Gadget. I can say that to everybody.
No, it's the guy
Look at
who
the guy
got
with the Viking
Curious
club.
George.
It's Inspector Gadget.
It's the guy who kidnapped.
Who are you supposed to be?
Inspector Gadget? I'm Lego Spider-Man.
I mean,
Inspector Gadget?
You can make Legos into anything, any superhero. Lego Dick Tracy is not that far away. It'd be a really boring game. What are you gonna do?
Well, Will and Chris, you guys created
You
the
guys,
show.
is the whole concept
do you
behind
think?
this podcast that you have adventures? Is that right?
Yeah. So our adventure was this bingo card.
What was the most mind-shattering thing that on this list? Would you say?
I have two.
I'm ready.
The first one,
Does one-
offering to trim Poison Ivy's bush was a scary thing to ask somebody. I know. I'm saying.
That's on there.
But I
It
said
wo-
it. I
it
said
worked.
it very nicely, and I didn't do it in a creepy way. And she said, "Okay."
This
Yeah,
is
I mean,
this is a strong
I know
contrast.
the words themselves together in that one sentence sound creepy, no matter how you do it. But I got away with it.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of sexually harass you, but not in a creepy way, Miss Ivy. It's more of a playful way.
What did you do with the clippings?
He
I
composted
have them in
them.
my pocket. I've saved them.
He's pocket
I will
mulching.
always have them forever.
All right, so what were the
I also walked up to a woman who was dressed up as Katana from Mortal Kombat. And she didn't see me, and I came up behind her and said, "Finish him." And she freaked out a little bit. So I like that.
She wheeled like Mannix.
We also went up to a bunch of different people who were selling comic books and asked if they had Action Comics #1. And nobody thought it was funny except
No.
for me.
No. One guy
Every
played
time,
along.
every time I got the same look, like, are you serious? Well, I thought it was hilarious.
I found a guy who had it while you were doing the panel, but it was paperback, so I disqualified it.
Is there anybody selling grit here?
Grit?
America's Family newspaper?
Yeah, is there anyone that sells grit out there in the hall?
Amsterdam
Could make
News.
a fortune. You know grit. Come on, old nerds.
They've all died off. Their tubes ran out of fuel.
When they reach 40, their tubes run out of fuel.
The jewel in your hand is glowing.
The easiest thing that we could have done on this is to meet Stan Lee, and we didn't
We
do
could
that.
not accomplish that.
He is a fast
No.
dude, man.
We saw him twice. The two times I saw him, I was like, "Oh my God, it's Stan Lee!" And I turned around to tell someone, and then I turned back, and he was gone. Absent for a 92-year-old man, or I can't believe how fast he moves.
There was a rabbit hole and like a mound of dirt going like this around it.
What about you, Mike? What did you like to do on this bingo?
On this bingo. I'm really mad we omitted Sing Reading Rainbow with LeVar Burton.
On a side note, I learned today that if you do that, you might get punched in the face because it's a very sore topic with LeVar Burton.
Is that true?
That's what I heard. I learned that today, maybe from someone in this room. I didn't get their name.
I'm going to need a source on
Reading
that.
Rainbow shirt.
Yeah.
Says
Yeah.
Walter White.
I'm going to need a source on that besides Wikipedia. Yeah, no.
You went for it.
I saw a little tiny Walter White running around outside.
No, that's just an infant. They don't have hair yet.
Oh, yeah.
You learn the difference.
He was very pink.
So did you cut that just for the? Look at that. That is dedication.
Serious dedication. Oh, and he's got the rock. He's holding.
Walt, did you put your head in the Shino Ball-O? Is that what happened?
And at about 3 today, he's going to an oncologist. Now that's
Just to
commitment.
stay in character. Devotion.
Adjacent to downtown.
I think the good thing with some of these, too, is that even if we didn't get them, we still have a good amount of time today to try to knock
we
these
wanna
off.
keep adding
It's
to it.
meaningless at this point, but...
Is today the last day?
Oh, yeah.
Today's the last day.
And then, well, what are you guys going to miss the most
I
about
put my
this? You've
tubes
been
in
for 2
storage
years.
for 362 days.
Ladies.
There's enough tube for everybody. Let's just hold all the questions. I really wanted to sing to LeVar Burton because I was on Reading Rainbow as a kid, and maybe I just want to sneak up behind him and go,
I didn't
you don't have to
know
take
that.
my word for it. I did one of those book recommendations as a kid, and I was...
Here's a good question. What color were you on the rainbow?
I
orange.
really wanted to do a Stephen King book, and they were not having that. They gave me this stupid-ass book called Turtle and Tortoise, which I did not even read. It actually looks like Weird Al Yankovic's When I Grow Up kids book. I was not challenged. But I want to see
avid
LeVar.
reader.
I want to see LeVar.
Okay.
Call him Jordy.
I wonder if you still can. Dreams do come true sometimes.
The Mortal Kombat cosplayer, I think Dan was finest hour because she wheeled around. He really
She
affected
didn't know
her.
what to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do either because I said it and kept walking. It was like, yes, I did it.
He didn't want to get elbowed.
Yeah,
Basically.
I didn't want to get katana'd. It's not cool.
Tickle a zombie was pretty
Whoa,
random.
yeah, we
We
did-
just tickled a zombie.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
whoever
but
we
they were
tickled,
awesome zombies. They were Scooby-Doo zombies. Right?
Yes,
if
a
you're going
couple
to
of
tickle a
Velmas.
zombie, it might as well be a Scooby-Doo zombie.
Iron Man, what's your excuse, dude? You can fly. Why are you late? Oh, okay. Yeah,
That was a good excuse.
he's designing a high-tech suit.
Man.
Now, one of the ones on here, Silly String of Spider-Man, you guys did not get, but that just seems like laziness.
Well,
Somebody didn't go to Party
there's a
City.
couple other lazy ones on here, too. What's
Iron
another
Man.
good-
We need to fill up a square.
Yeah.
Photo op with Goku.
Oh, yeah, like bum something from Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Just, what does that even mean?
He was going to bum a
Anything. Piece
smoke.
of
Whatever it
Kevin
is. How about
Smith.
a smoke or a
Small child,
Sharpie
whatever.
pen? Yeah.
Or a
little
bag of
boy.
sandwiches.
Whoa. Is that a fat joke?
I think that was a fat joke.
He's always got a bag of sandwiches with him, from what I hear.
He looks like he's carrying around a bag of sandwiches all the time.
Frequent flyer miles and a bag of sandwiches.
Danny and Mike is no longer hosted by anybody.
Yeah. It's
Well, the good thing
free-for-all.
about that is that there's 5 amazing people sitting here, and I shouldn't have to say anything. You guys are amazing.
You never have to say anything.
Thank
no.
you. I'm
From
glad
now
that
on.
you accepted
From now
yourself
on.
and that counts.
From now on, that's what it is.
So do you guys have any
Sorry, I'll make that
other,
4.
like fandom stories? Of,
I do have a question. I'm getting used to the idea of the we've done some Pete and Pete reunions over the last year or so, and I have that reality in my mind.
All right.
All right. But you guys are making this sort of lateral move to Comic-Con type events. You had a booth. You were signing autographs and things like that. What's that? How does that feel? What's it like? What's it like? Mike, you were saying people come up to you and they say, "Could you sign this?" And you say $10, and then they say, "You changed my life when I was growing up." How does that all come together?
I know they say, first they say you changed my life, and I say talk to Jeremy.
Yeah, money first, talk later.
Yeah. But it's great, and it's just a lot more raw data from my theory that Comic-Con people and Pete and Pete fans overlap. Every single encounter is a case study, so you guys are only fattening the data pile.
You should tell them that when they say, you changed my life when I was growing up. Well, you know who changes my life now is Mr. George Washington.
About 10 of them.
No.
How about
10 George Washingtons?
Henry Joe Jackson is the minimum that I dance for.
What?
Henry Joe Jackson.
You'll sign a boot for $1. We know that.
Boot?
No.
I know I would.
Come on.
What would you do for $1, Dan?
What would I do for $1?
Where's my money?
Oh, wow. You take my lines now, too?
Tell him about the hole, Viscardi. Tell him about the hole.
No holes. No holes. Well, that's going to sound weird on the podcast. No holes. No
It'll all make
holes.
sense.
No. But what about you guys? Do you have any fandom stories or anything about what would be similar to people here nerding out on stuff? Like, what was when you guys were growing up? What's something that you were super into?
What is it, a question, or you just, what are you doing?
I'm asking. I want to know some stories from you guys.
He's going to ramble on for 40 minutes, and then...
Yeah, I'll get to a point eventually.
Hey, what do you guys think about, if you have to say one, what
Toby,
would it,
for you, it was probably Altamont, right? When the Hells Angels stabbed that guy? It was probably the seminal... event, formative.
He's making a gay joke at my expense. Right? Is that what Altamont was?
No.
Oh.
When was it? I can't remember.
You were at the wrong concert.
I didn't have any fan memories from growing up in terms of being super passionate about stuff or collecting stuff. My first experience actually was when we started doing the Pete and Pete reunions. That was
the first time you felt anything in your life? You're married. You have 2 kids. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm a little distant. No, but in terms of being surrounded by that kind of fandom, that was the first time I'd ever really experienced that, and it was pretty fantastic.
Super rewarding.
Yeah, it was especially for a show that had not been on the air for quite a while. I think it was 20 years later when more of that fandom really started coming around. We always knew the show was out there and people loved it, and they were really passionate about it, but it wasn't until I think the first reunion that we did out here in L.A. that you really got a sense of, wow, people really did like it.
It was crazy.
There were actually faces to those rating numbers that we used to get every once in a while.
Right.
And it's really touching.
1.4,
What a thing.
1.2, 0.7.
No. It wasn't that bad. But we did kind of figure out that there's at least a one.
We'll clear that up.
What's that?
I said, I'm glad you cleared all that up.
Well, it got canceled and all, so it did, what more can be said? But Chris, I have a question for you. With people coming up to you, feeling special feelings for you for having co-created the show, what typically do you hear from fans? What
People definitely say your show was the best thing about my childhood. And I always feel, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You must have had a really empty life.
I don't know. I just appreciate it. People come up, especially the first reunion I remember. So there was this girl who was shaking so much. She was on the verge of tears. And it was really touching. I don't know. I think I'm just moved by it. Again, because the show hasn't been on the air for so long. It's been 20-odd years. The fact that it still has that kind of hold on people is really, really kind of lovely. So,
I agree. I've watched them all. Every episode.
He's a liar.
No, that's a running
Never
thing.
seen a full episode of the show.
No, but you know what? I talked to somebody yesterday at the desk who, without knowing I was sitting there, said, "Oh man, the other guy on that podcast, he doesn't know anything about Pete and Pete." So, as I sit here today, I'm going to make the guarantee before the next recording, if we make it that far,
that he's going to learn a lot about Pete and Pete and forget it.
I'm going to watch the entire first season, maybe the second.
And we're going
to quiz. And then we'll have a quiz.
Yeah, we're
quiz.
We're going to send Jeremy on an adventure next week
that's
instead.
That's my guarantee.
I do one thing. I mean, just to go back to your earlier question. I mean, the Pete reunions were definitely the first time I ever felt that fandom. But I do have to say the irony while making the show, when we had people like Iggy on the show, and all those other, a lot of Debbie Harry, other people that we definitely loved from back in the day. That was pretty trippy kind of fandomness. Although we didn't really deal with them as fans, we just kind of dealt with them as okay, you got to be on the set in 5 minutes, go. But that was the first time you ever really had that brush with people that you really admired. But but now it was the strange context of we were working with them. It was actually kind of bizarre.
Don't you kind of wish, knowing how many times we'd be asked about our experiences with Iggy Pop,
That we had brushed up on them
that
more.
we just like spit on them or something?
Got to fight with them.
Exactly. Instead of saying,
No, Iggy, you can't do
stand
more
over there.
scenes.
What?
No, Iggy, you can't do any more scenes. You got to go home now.
Iggy
That's
would
it.
like to stick around.
I was like, Deborah Harry. We had her for the whole day. I think all I said to her was, "How does that wig fitting okay?" That was my one thing I said to her.
Did we take that wig off of Debbie Harry and put it in a vault and then slap it on Patty Hearst 5 years later?
Sure did.
Probably.
I think it was the same wig.
Probably.
Looked exactly the same to me.
It could be right, sadly.
Toby, were you jazzed about anybody appearing on the show alongside you at that time when we were in serious production and you were hearing about these various guests that were coming through? Hot jazz or cool jazzed?
Speak to him in a language he can
I think
understand.
everybody liked it when Iggy was on. That was
Yeah.
nice.
That was psyched, right? I was very psyched.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stipe was a weirdo.
confirming what we all knew.
Yeah.
He's a sweet guy.
Yeah, just ask around Athens, Georgia.
What does that mean?
Well, Mike,
I think it's a big neighborhood.
Well, Mike, you got
sure.
to act with Stipe, right?
Not only did I get to act with Stipe, I got to interact with Stipe.
That's true.
Yeah. We didn't
That's
have
good
a
acting,
lot of
interacting.
Winnebagos back in the day. We were not like a 5 Winnebago type of show. We were more like a Winnebago and a half type of show. So
No, we weren't.
I was occupying the one
No,
whole
Winnebago and a
Winnebago
half. There's no
with
Winnebago there.
Stipe.
No, there was like half a bus show. We're talking about Winnebago and a
Pack as
half.
many
They
people
must have
you
not
can in a
told you
car.
about it. They didn't want you to feel bad.
Boy,
You got the half.
Winnebago and a half? How dare you?
So me and Stipe, I guess, were both in the whole Winnebago at the same time, and we're changing wardrobe. And my mother is there with me, thankfully. And Stipe goes, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not modest," and starts dropping trow in front of me and my mother. Now, my mother had already brought me for auditions and junk in Times Square since I'm young, so I was used to maternal censorship, I guess.
And what? You grew up with the Amish, for Christ's sake?
No, this
Why
is
was
the
it
biggest
shocking? A guy
beard I
taking
could
his
grow.
pants off in front of you.
Because he's
What's
a
wrong with
grown
you?
man and I wasn't. Anyway, my mother did not give him permission to drop trow in front. Anyway, she turned me away.
Many reasons.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She saved me that day.
Maybe the world where I gotta get permission from an old man to drop trousers in front of me is the world I don't want to live in. maybe that's it.
He hasn't been on any episode since, so
I gotta get permission to throw my pants down in front of the kids.
we saw that guy on the street today, actually.
Oh my God, that's right.
Take my
Dude,
pants off.
There
Two
was
legs at a time, like any other man.
There was a bus stopped on
Not
Olive in the middle of the street, and this guy comes around the bus, and his pants are falling down at the same time.
We couldn't figure out if he got off the bus.
I think
or
he
if
got
ran
kicked
to
off the bus.
street
Kicked off
and
the bus for
almost
dropping his
hit him.
pants and trying to go to the bathroom on the bus.
Yeah.
So instead, he
It
dropped his
happened.
pants and started going to the
In
bathroom,
the
running
middle
down
of
the middle of
Olive
Olive.
Street.
It was awesome.
and then we-
Downtown LA, everybody.
Yeah. Don't knock it. Do not knock it. It's a town I call here.
Hey, Dan, a question for you. I've been meaning to ask you this question. Now that you're, you used to be a kid star, now you're a grown-up man. Do you think of yourself as a kid star? Like, oh yeah, I was a kid star.
Do you think of yourself as either?
Yeah. Am I just
Sadly, no.
no, seriously. Do you think of yourself as like, oh yeah, I was a kid star? I mean, is that how you,
No, I don't say that.
what do you say?
I was on TV when I was a little kid.
Oh, okay.
That's usually what I say.
I'm just trying to put you in a box. I hope you
I know.
mind.
Don't put me in that box.
Well, I'd
Nobody
like to
puts
bring-
baby in the corner.
But you guys were rated, what is it, 49 and 50 on VH1's Top Kid Stars?
Yeah.
No,
one of
who
the-
came
one
in
of-
49. Guess
Right,
who's
yeah,
49?
Whatever, dude. That's
Alphabetical
yeah,
order,
yeah.
baby.
Well, yeah, it's just alphabetical order.
Yeah.
It has
Somebody
nothing
messed
to
up
do
the
with
name of the
talent.
podcast, though. Why is the podcast called The Adventures of Danny and Mike?
Wait, so all right, so who is 47? Who's 48? I got to tell.
Well, it's 50 and 49.
50 and 49.
See how he puts 50 first, right? Only in Danny's world does 50 come before 49.
Well, because it's going down. It starts at 100 and it goes down.
Only in the dictionary does 50 come before 49.
So who surrounded you guys on the list? Do you remember?
Hermione was,
Hermione Granger?
yeah.
Wow, that's
she
pretty
has
good.
a real name.
Yeah.
Crandall.
All right, Emma Watson.
It's Harry.
It's
Crandall the puppy.
But she's not even on
Was
TV.
Crandall on there?
I don't know. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't
TV.
specific to TV.
Okay.
It was just.
I think it was a
It was just 100 Greatest Child Stars, Volume 15, and all the rest of them that they've done without us. They were like, "I won't put these kids in.
God.
We got to do some new content."
It was a real cut and paste job. They were just like a BuzzFeed drag drop VH1.
Did you guys see that, by the way? Did you see
wonder.
that BuzzFeed article that went around 2 days ago with Julie Halpern's pictures?
What was it?
The intern.
You remember Julie
You remember
from
her?
Wisconsin?
Yeah. She sent BuzzFeed like 15 or 7. I think it was 17 because it's always like a weird number. Here are the 17.
Yeah, 17
behind
background
the scenes
photos
pics.
from Pete and Pete that look like pug dogs.
What were the shots? I didn't see
There
them.
was some hilarious ones of you with some big flowing hair over the sides,
Yeah, I remember
sort of what you got now, but like even more pompadour. Yeah.
Yeah, Pompadour.
That's the Italian. That's Italian.
Hey, it's a pompadour.
Pompadour.
Speaking of
they're actually
fandom,
pretty
there was I thought about you yesterday because I was in the grocery market at Trader Joe's, and there was a big table full of Kringles. Remember Kringles?
Oh, you mean those flattened
Bugles?
Danish?
Yeah.
Remember we got them from a fan?
Oh, yeah.
The first couple episodes we made some guy in Wisconsin.
Right.
It was Racine, Wisconsin, where we got them from. Yeah, they sent them to us. And the Kringles at Trader Joe's are from Racine, Wisconsin. Anyways, we were working on the show, and out of the blue one day come these boxes. Is that what they call them? Kringles, right?
I think so.
They're Danishes.
But they're
big.
flattened. They're kind of.
Yeah. And they just
no.
they come out of
Flat
nowhere.
Danish.
They're giant flat Danish. There you go. There you
Kringle,
go.
right?
There
They're
you
like
There we
circular,
go.
right?
I always thought her name was Crandall.
So we got them. So somebody brings them to the office when we first started making the show, and we didn't know what to do. Like, do we eat them? Are they poisoned? Do people hate the show? And we ate them for sure.
I was just thinking about how innocent. I saw it differently. A box came with our name on it. We opened it up. We said, "What is it? This looks like we could eat it." And then we just ate it. It's like those innocent days where you would just eat stuff from a box.
Then I remember we were because it was the first thing we ever got received from making the show from a fan, and we called the people because their name was on the box. And they were so thrilled that they sent us more Kringles, which is why we actually called, because we wanted to get more.
Please stop sending us Kringles.
It has to.
Did you get the box of Kringles we sent out
Yes, we
there?
got the third and the fourth
did ya?
box.
How'd you like them Kringles there? They're all sweet, aren't they?
They're very good.
Did you put the
Thank
poison in them? Oh, shit. I forgot.
We're going to send you a fifth
I
box.
wanted to poison them bastards out there making that sick kid show. Oh, shit. Well, if you want some more Kringles, we'll send some with some extra ingredients. That being some rat poison.
The Danny and Mike show is NSFW.
Well, when we were in Portland and we were doing that signing in the little comic book store, people were giving us cookies. And
Yeah,
stuff.
Toby, you
But
almost
Toby
slapped those cookies out of my hand,
Toby
actually.
refused to eat the cookies.
Those were
'cause he
good
was afraid.
cookies.
Is there
like
something?
these
Is
assholes.
there something? Did something ever happen to you like that? Did you ever get like?
Did you have a
spiked?
bad? Yeah.
Don't let some jerk off on the street come and give you food and then you eat it. What is wrong with you?
Wait, how is
Hey,
that
man.
different? How's
Hey,
that different
man, I
from
made a
getting
ham
paid?
sandwich for you because I like your show. Oh, thanks. That's the dumbest thing in the world. What's wrong with you? It's crazy.
I don't know. I didn't get sick. Those cookies were good. And I like
Good.
cookies.
Go ahead.
So
go
what?
Go eat the cookies then. Good for you. It's a
We
great
did. We
career
ate
move.
them 4 months ago. We're
ate
alive.
Yours. I just
Yeah.
wanted to know if there was any sort of like,
Yeah,
you know,
spin that wheel.
you had it.
Let's see, I'm alive. Well, the cookies didn't kill me.
Next time.
You must have had.
You're gonna eat a poison Kringle one day.
You must have had a trauma. What was it?
Don't come dying to me.
What was it? Did you get paid in Kugel sometime? Did you get paid in Borax when you did in that Eastern American theater?
I wish. I wish I got paid in borax.
Borax. It's a delicious pastry.
They make that borax up in California. There's a town out there.
Really?
Yeah, out by the Mojave. They make the borax out there. 20 Mule Team borax. There's a town out there called Boron.
Really?
Yeah, get your car and drive out there later on. It's nice out there. Nice. Mine that borax. out
Alkali
there.
Flats.
Yeah, that's nice stuff out there.
All right, poison ivy. Tactical poison ivy. Taking it.
I already said it. I'm not saying it.
Did you guys notice
I'm
that
not saying it again.
What did you say?
Notice that Dick Tracy left? He left.
Yeah, Dick Tracy
He
wasn't
split.
feeling
Yeah, he
it.
split.
Oh, she was seat filler for Dick Tracy. Very skillful. Didn't even notice.
That could have been a thing on your board. Have
What's
Dick
that?
Tracy walk out of your podcast.
Yeah. We can check that off. Dick Tracy abandoning podcasting.
Bingo!
Bingo! That's the free square. Yeah. Now we really won.
I've got to get me some Pepsi.
I have
Goodbye,
a
Dick
rendezvous
Tracy.
with Mumbles.
Yes, got to get some Pepsi.
Big boy did it.
Big boy did it.
What is Death by Bruce Campbell? What does that mean?
Yeah.
We just wanted Bruce Campbell to pretend to kill us, or really kill Mike, whichever one.
Yeah.
It was,
we were on the fence.
Didn't matter.
Taking either.
Yeah.
well, he saw Bruce Campbell, but
He moved faster than
moved.
Stan Lee. The guy's like 1.4 Stan Lee XV. Yeah, Bruce, that would have been awesome. You know Death by Stereo in The Lost Boys? You know, they shoot an arrow through the vampire. Yeah. Hell yes. Frog Brothers. The, just a creative death by Bruce Campbell would have been enough. Whatever. An axe.
it would have been fun. Yeah, we could have grabbed the axe from the.
The muck people.
Yeah, the.
You guys are pretty nerdy. I didn't know you were kind of nerdy.
This one more so. than that
Welcome
one.
to the podcast.
Were
Toby
you-
Huss, first and last. Not worth really getting to know
definitely.
us.
Yeah. Look,
I think the feeling.
were you nerdy on the first two? Like, I didn't know you guys were. Were you nerdy on the first two episodes of the podcast?
Well, the first one was about strippers, and the
Yeah,
second one was about,
about
Halloween.
ghost hunting.
Yeah, so this one's just about Comikaze. It's not necessarily
It's
about.
sort of.
All right.
It's sort of the atmosphere that we're in.
Yeah, but
It's just coming out.
You're not that.
It seems.
Yeah,
my,
but if you do a podcast at a truck stop, you don't start talking about your trucker stories.
Why not?
You guys are a little nerdy. I didn't know you were. It's not.
this
a
is where
knock.
you
I
can
just
feel
didn't know.
comfortable to do that.
I mean,
It's a safe
it's a
space
safe
for
space.
nerding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Am I right, Johnny? Sweep the leg, Cobra
Come
Kai.
on, there you go.
See, he knows this. He
Safe
knows this
space.
stuff.
Does anybody want to get anything off the chest right now? Anybody? You, Seattle Green Lantern. Does anything inside your tube that wants to come out right now?
Oh, hey,
Whoa.
check that.
Hey, come on, there's a little kid over there.
Yeah, I got a lot crammed in my tube these days, too. 3 days of Comikaze. My tube fills up.
How's your air conditioning?
guys,
Yeah,
let's try to focus.
Come on.
All right. I like
This
it.
is the
Take
focus
control.
of the-
Take
of the
control.
pod.
Who's ever heard of a meandering podcast?
Let's focus.
How dare you?
What
You
question
don't want it
for
to be
you?
linear, do you?
Just tell me something. Why Danny and Mike? Why not Mike and Danny? I'm just,
Good question.
What's going on with that?
This is gonna come to blows.
Just wanted to.
I'm the adorable one, and adorable goes through the door first.
I think it was
You
mostly.
think I'm the adorable one? Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, that's what they call
How's it
you.
feel?
That's what they call you.
Tables are turned now, huh?
Wow.
Oh, yeah. The student is now the teacher.
That's a good. That's good.
I think it's pretty much because Danny's friend designed the logo.
Ooh.
Or maybe because Danny's friend produces the podcast. There's one or two of those things. One or two of those possibilities.
Sneaky move.
Listen, I got nothing to do with it. I had nothing to do with it.
Okay,
This
we're
is
going to need
Danny-
one less microphone up here, Natalie, right now.
Hey, Danny, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So have you played yourself in Grand Theft Auto 5?
I can't play myself because I'm not.
But he can
I'm
shoot
not a
himself afterwards and
playable
take the money.
character, But I have played the game and had to work with my character.
Got it. Nice.
And if you just like if you're playing, I just heard about that. It's weird, right?
Oh, you heard about how he got a free copy of the game and didn't give it to anybody else?
Nobody else.
Didn't share it with the guy he
No,
does a
Rockstar
podcast
only
with?
gave me one copy of the game. Like I said, what am I supposed to do? Break it in half?
Timeshare. It's a timeshare setup.
King Solomon over
Yeah,
here,
I know.
Mike
I
gets
don't-
it for a day.
solving all the
For the other
problems
day.
of the
I
world.
mean, what am I supposed to do?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I can't help you. Shoot that guy in the head.
So I've never played the game, so you can't play yourself, but you can interact
But
with
like no,
yourself in the game.
exactly. So
can you
within
kill
the three
yourself?
characters, you can. My little cousin, my 15-year-old cousin, is all about trying to kill me in the game.
Nice.
He calls me up. He's like, I'm trying to kill you. I was like, well, if you kill me, then you screw the mission, and then you're screwed. He's like, well, I don't want to mess up the mission. I was like, well, then you can't kill me.
Just this once.
But yeah, it's pretty wild. It's fun too because if you just lay idle the character and I'm around, I'll like start, come on, dude, like move it, get on your, like just start heckling the player, which I think is awesome.
You
And I
can't
do
play
that.
Danny in the game. It's a shame. But
Yeah,
you can go up to Danny in a game in the panel and tell him that he was the best part of your childhood.
And then I'll ask for $10.
And you can get the signed photo from Danny in the game, and then you can kill him and get your money back. So it's really
Very good.
Very
good.
nice. Very nice.
All right.
Dan, let me ask you a
First-
question.
first good joke,
Danny,
Mike. Good job.
Danny, question about the game.
They're in episode
the game
3.
encourages how would you describe them?
Senseless violence.
Right, exactly. Do you think
So
there's-
much violence.
Is there any gap between what you accomplished in Pete and Pete to show that champion the wonder and imagination of childhood?
I don't remember him
This
getting a
new
neck
game, you're
tattoo.
involved in? Is there any? Do you
No,
sense
but-
there's some discrepancy there?
No, but what's really funny is that the older people who play the game, like today we did this panel and we were downstairs, and all these people will be like, I didn't even know it was you, man, but you were on Pete and Pete and now you're cursing at me and doing all these awful things. You drugged my dad. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad it can come full circle for you kids.
Okay.
Bringing you up nice and then tanking you from here on out.
Bonus assignment to any nerd here to hack Grand Theft Auto 5 and insert Little Pete insults into the soundtrack.
Ooh.
Bonus. Anybody will get a free signed tube from us.
Rockstar, I didn't have anything to do with that. I'm not affiliated with Michael C. Morona. And don't get me in trouble.
Please remember for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Oh, why is he not in Grand Theft Auto 6?
Oh, he died. He got impaled by a tube.
He died in a horrible car crash over 4 bridges into the water and then was eaten by a shark.
Wait, so I'm assuming when you made that, you had to put had to wear those suits. with,
Yeah, I
the
had to
little,
wear
the
the,
lights on?
ping pong balls?
spandex suit with the balls all over me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh, you had to wear spandex suit?
Yeah, it was like you, except I had more balls on my...
Oh, it took a lot of balls for you to wear that suit.
Balls on the outside. Lights. I think the lights.
Oh, it's like these little like reflectors. So there are all these.
We all know what it is. We all know what it is.
Yeah, I know. Well, you may
Nobody
not. You didn't know what cosplay was, so I'm just trying to help out.
I didn't know what cosplay was.
Weren't you the
It's short for
inspiration-
costume play. You two that just came in, Poison Ivy. Short for costume play. It's called cosplay. You're dropping some vine. Okay. I gotta get some more duct tape for this vine.
So, do you have any photos of yourself in that mode?
No, I was not allowed to take.
You didn't do the thing like Eli with eating the sandwich?
I was not allowed to take pictures of myself in the suit, so I don't have any.
It's all right. All right.
Nothing like audio.
It
Well
was,
played.
It was
Well played.
well played, indeed. For the listener, I was not shaking my head.
He was nodding it. There's a difference between shaking and nodding. One of them means yes.
It sounds like a grand theft of your dignity.
Yeah, right. Well, it was. It was until you saw everyone else who you were working with that day in the same spandex suit, being as uncomfortable as I felt. So, for a big guy like me in a spandex suit, walking around all day, your dignity does take a spike.
Take a spike.
But yeah, it was fun. Game was fun.
Yeah, we
And
got.
I keep telling everyone that says, "Oh, I love your character in GTA." I was like, "Well, I'm not a role model, okay? Please don't follow any of these horrible things I've been doing."
God, how many years of your life have you had to remind people, I'm not a role model? Get your head out of that banister. Get that marshmallow out of your nose. Get out from under that humidifier. I'm not a role model.
Put your spandex back on.
Exactly.
Put it
Everyone's
on.
like, oh, I
Put it
looked up
on,
to you.
put it
You were my
on.
hero.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
You're bidding $5.
$5.
Who's bidding $5 in the podcast? Does anybody say
$5
$6?
question.
$5 for the
$6.
photo.
$5
Do I get
for the
$6?
redhead.
$6.
Ah,
Okay,
going
$6 to
once.
walk
Going twice.
with. $7. Do I hear 8?
We know.
Sweep
I know,
the leg,
I know.
Johnny. I hear 8. Cobra Kai.
$5 for the ginger in the spandex. Going once.
Well,
Was there a codpiece that went with that outfit, Dan?
Why'd your voice get higher?
Was there a codpiece that went out with that outfit, Dan?
A lot of times when I talk about you in spandex, my voice gets higher.
so yesterday when we did this Q&A, this little Pete and Pete panel Q&A that Mike and I did, one of the questions from the audience was, what is your favorite interaction from the show with Artie? And I'm curious what your favorite interaction with us was.
This when he bounced you like a basketball.
What was fun that we did with you? Probably nothing, but that's fair.
No, that's not true. That was fun.
It was fun.
It was a fun show. We did the Nightcrawlers one. That was a cold night, and it was rainy. I think it was a little damp out there, and there was a nice little weirdo. I was smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee and staying out late, and you were little kids, and we were all dicking around in the backyard in Jersey. It was kind of sweet. It was really, it was something you don't do every day. It was nice.
I got to stay up late.
Yeah,
it was really fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, good question.
Not that I remember.
I ate all the Kringles on set.
How many? When you were wearing your spandex, would you describe any kind of Kringle activity going on there?
There was definitely some crinkles, some lines.
Some heaves.
Maybe I was a role model. I'm not sure.
He was a plus-size role model.
Come on. What? I said role model. Like rolls.
Yeah, I got it. I think we all got it.
Just trying to reinforce it.
Okay, to sum up, The Adventures of Pete and Pete was a really good show that was canceled a long time ago. There were some very, very creative people associated it. We've been lucky enough to have 4.5 of them here with us today. And I'm really grateful for the experience to have worked with all these guys in the past, and hopefully better stuff happens in the future, even better than this.
Who's the half, you prick?
Yeah, that was
What's wrong with you? What up?
Lieutenant Dan!
Oh, man.
Well, we can't thank all of you enough for hanging out with
There's
us.
actually few enough people in here that we can thank you individually. Thank you to
Hand in
Omar.
hand,
Thank you to
everyone.
Mia, Two Broke Geeks. Thanks to Seattle Green Lantern. Thank you to Cobra Kai, Danish Kringles, Commander Riker, Waltz.
No
I hope you're
thanks
gonna
to
beat
Dick
that
Tracy.
thing, buddy. You're gonna get over that thing. What's his name? Batman, Andre Ethier, The Punisher. I remember you from yesterday. Season 3 on DVD. Come on.
I think the answer to that is no.
We're
I
gonna
hate
leave you
to
on a
end-
low note.
I hate to end this podcast on a sad note, but
sour note
getting
like
a 1
that.
minute sign waved at us over there. It means $1, so the value of the podcast
We've
has
just
dropped
gone down
because you
from
guys have
5
not
to
been
1.
bidding. So let's bring it back up. Will McRobb, any
Thanks for
final
having
words?
me.
Are you sorry? Are you sorry you agreed to do this?
No, man, what are you talking about? This is great. How much more time do we have?
1 minute. You have a 30-second.
Very good.
Dude.
Okay, we'll take one question from the audience. It's not embarrassing.
No, what's embarrassing is that there are no
Okay,
questions.
Danish Kringle. Turtle and tortoise, yes.
Ooh, great question.
Crap.
Did you learn the difference between
This is
a
it.
turtle and a tortoise?
I know the difference.
They, the nostrils are on the. Oh, okay. That's alligators and crocodiles. That's alligators and crocodiles.
And we'll
He's
leave
a
it
liar.
at, we'll
He
leave it
could
at that.
see.
You know the
He
answer,
wasn't
Toby?
blind.
Toby
He
knows
was a
the
liar.
answer. Toby knows the answer.
What's the answer, Toby?
Your tortoise is your desert animal. And your turtle is
land
the one
animal.
that likes the water.
It's a
Lives
land
in-
animal.
You know.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
Yeah. That's the Iowa public school system at work there.
No, it's not. I just I bought a house and it came with 2 tortoises. I'm serious, in Island Park.
And he got tired of putting him in the pool.
Oh, they go in the pool, they drown.
Box.
2 tortoises.
Box.
I don't fucking know what kind they were. 2 tortoises, you nut. Sorry, kid.
The Adventures of Danny and Mike is brought to you by Feral Audio. The Adventures of Danny and Mike is very grateful to have Toby Huss, Will McRobb, Chris Viscardi, and there's also Jeremy, the producer, on Michael
Less
Morona.
clapping.
This is
Less-
Danny Tamborelli.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
All right, guys. Well, that's another podcast in the books. Thanks again to Chris Viscardi, Will McRobb, and Toby Huss for being our special guests. I would also like to give a big thanks to Todd Webb for doing our comic strip, and thank Comikaze for letting us be here. And again, if you guys like the podcast, please donate to it so we can go on more fun adventures. See you guys next time.
So there you have it. As we shut the door on another adventure, we remember the lessons we've learned. Don't let Toby Huss anywhere near a microphone. Bingo is fun for young people, too. And Comikaze fans overlap with Pete and Pete fans to a massively scary degree. But most of all, remember that you fake television brothers are here from you, and we'll always have your backs, adventure after adventure.
Adventures of Danny and Mike stars Danny Tamberlin and Mike Barone. The show is produced by Jeremy Balin and Marianne Ways. The podcast is part of the Feral Audio Podcasting Collective and can be found on their website at feralaudio.com. For more information on how you can contribute to the show, whether it be joining us live during one of our adventures or submitting questions to the guys, visit our website at theadventuresofdannyandmike.com. Also, look us up on Twitter at Danny and Mike with "and" spelled out, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Adventures of Danny and Mike. Thanks for listening.